It's a sad reality that newcomers to Hamilton will experience racism and discrimination in this city. Especially those with darker skin will experience barriers based on their skin color and race. Our history, which includes slavery, genocide against Indigenous peoples, colonization, exclusionary immigration laws, and subtle or not so subtle efforts to make Canada into a white nation, is very much alive and well today. Canadians will often say, well, at least we're not as racist as the USA. But this hides the realities of racism that people of color do face in Canada every day. Our histories are not as different as Canadians would like to believe. And so we need to face that history and that present reality and learn to confront them together. For some newcomers who thought of Canada as a welcoming place, this will come as a surprise. Others will be far less surprised. But it is discouraging. Just another barrier for our friends to face as they adapt to their new city and their new country, which should be as much theirs as anyone else's. The Hamilton Immigration Partnership Council found that 59% of immigrants and visible minorities had experienced some form of racism and discrimination in Hamilton in the past 3 years. The study found that the top cause of the racism and discrimination that immigrants and visible minorities experienced was their race or skin color at 65%, then their ethnicity or culture at 39%, and then their accent, 29%. Those most likely to have experienced racial discrimination were Black people, but people of other races experienced it too. So what does racism look like in Canada? It can look like the big violent attacks, like the Arab Canadian Muslim family that was run down in London, Ontario in 2021. But it also looks like inappropriate jokes, barriers in advancing in your job, being followed by staff in stores, judging glances, derogatory language, harmful stereotypes. These day-to-day assumptions and barriers, sometimes called microaggressions, weigh heavily and wear on people mentally. Racism is prejudice plus power. Because white people have been in power in Canada for such a long time, systems have been set up that subtly or not so subtly privilege white people over others.